as Damien said, I'm with Rockland GAA Club. I've been involved with Rockland now, got the job just over 3 years ago. 2 years ago. Was with Rockland then from April 2017, and I've been basically coming over and back since then. This is my second conference, kind of coming over and being at home for a month, so I'm way back to New York on Tuesday and way back to work and stuff. So usually been back to work about a week and a half, so I've been laying about and enjoying myself. So I'm looking forward to getting back, in fairness, but this here today what we're going to talk about is the Rockland GAA 5-star centre that you would have heard a little bit about with Connor and Kieran, and a couple of other people as well who've already been up. But the way I'm going to work it here is obviously how we did it in New York, right? And how you're going to implement a program like that with no GAA background in any of the schools. So that's what I'm going to talk about. But first, I need to have a little background about myself. So my short story. Obviously, I'm from Fermanagh, as you can see, based in the Systema GAA club. Player all my life, a little bit of coach, was coaching officer as well as being involved in, was lucky enough to get a job with Ulster GAA. It was great to see the three of the lads that former employees, former colleagues of myself, as well as a few other Ulster GAA people here as well, which is great. With Ulster for about 7.5, 8 years. Within that time, I was seconded to Ulster Ladies, was their development officer. Went back to Ulster, and then it was always a curriculum development, curriculum sports coach within the curriculum sports program through Denny. That program since has lost its funding, so people have lost their jobs, which is extremely, extremely difficult for us, GAA, as well as the schools. The program went for about 10 years, and what we need, obviously, back home is obviously a little bit of devolved government, but for people to lose their jobs, and for me to lose, for colleagues especially, to make sure that, all the stuff that they did in schools has kind of went by the wayside. So it's important for the clubs now to get involved, get your school club link up involved, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about here. So hopefully anything you hear now will kind of help you out. I say got the job at Rockland, but I wouldn't be standing here, I wouldn't be at Rockland if it wasn't for Ulster GAA, for my own club, for Fermanagh, as well as Ulster Ladies. So all my experience has got me where I am. And hopefully, kind of after this here, and any questions that you want to ask at the end, hopefully it can help you out. So, Rockland GAA were the largest GAA club outside Ireland. Obviously, when you go to Connor's club and League Slip, we're obviously a drop in the water. But for us, we're a completely inclusive club. So we cater for camogie, ladies football, hurling, and of course Gaelic football from 3-year-olds right up to adult. We encourage a player pathway. We have our coaching pathway now involved as well. But what we needed at the start, whenever I got involved, my role was obviously coach education, participation, schools, camps, and all the stuff that you hear to hear, who the personnel and some of the clubs are doing. Now, then, one of my main aspects then was for the school system. Now, you know the 5-star centre here, it's been piloted in schools in Ireland. And when you be here in Ireland and you work with Ulster GAA and you work in Fermanagh and you work in the schools there, it's very easy for me to go into a school, in Lisnaskea, my own club, but also go down to make sure that I'm down in Erin Gales, or I can go into Tyrone into a school. But the Rockland school system is completely different. For me to go into a school in Rockland County, I need to get my fingerprinting done in each of the school district areas. And in Rockland County, there's 6 school district areas. So basically, Rockland County is the size of Fermanagh. So if I worked now in Fermanagh in the Rockland system, I would have to get my fingerprinting done in 6 different areas, which is crazy. So then you go along, you do the fingerprinting, but then you have to meet the athletic directors in those districts. You then have to meet the schools and principals in those districts. So you're constantly building relationships. I've been lucky enough that in the Pearl River district that I'm involved with, it's our feeder schools. That's where most of our feeder schools are. Most of our children go there. So we put the word out to the schools that I was coming over, but previously the club had been in Lincoln Avenue School, doing a little bit of coaching, going into the school and kind of having a presence in the school, because most of our children go to the Pearl River district schools. So when I came over, I had to sell it to the schools. So I obviously done my fingerprinting, went and met the schools, went and met the athletic directors, but it was a slow process, simply because they didn't know GAA. They didn't know what it was. But also, in the Rockland GAA school system, they don't need to have sports going into their schools. So they have PE teachers in there. So they do all the physical literacy. They do all the different sports, all games, all American sports, and obviously some of our children could play at least 7, 8, 9 sports over the whole year, including Gaelic and hurling if it's a boy, obviously, and then if it's a girl, camogie and ladies football. So it's massive. So then, to try and sell it to them, I needed to go back to my Ulster GAA roots in Fermanagh and obviously when my previous employment. And the Department of Education Schools programme, 2 main remits was to increase the confidence and self-esteem of the children, as well as to increase the confidence and self-esteem of the teachers and the staff within the school to take on Gaelic football and to take on, obviously, the physical literacy aspect. But we weren't going in just to do Gaelic football. And that's one thing I did tell them. You know, I'm coming in here, yes, I want to promote the GAA and promote Rockland, GAA especially, to get more players, obviously. Then to get more parents and administrators, then hopefully too. But one aspect that we wanted was we wanted the whole child aspect, the holistic aspect. And obviously looking at the technical and tactical through the games, psychological, obviously, increasing their confidence and self-esteem, the social element of it, so putting them into teams, making them captains, making them referees, putting little mini coaches involved, asking them questions, making new friends, etc. Okay, and then obviously the physical element. So the physical literacy, as I said, they already have a good baseline of physical literacy. So when I did go into the schools, and I started in the schools in Rockland last February, went for 15 weeks until May. So that was basically what we did. And this is our child development program. And no false advertising, but I'm speaking more about this tomorrow. So if you do want to come tomorrow to my session, that there will be talked about more, plus you'll get a little bit of a resource. But this was the underpinning of my program and our program last year in the school. So the school knew me, the school got to know me, the kids got to know me really well. And then I thought, oh, school program's going really well, we're improving our numbers, the school really enjoy it. And then obviously the 5-star centre program was launched. So wanting to progress and wanting to kind of progress and make things different for myself, so try new things, we looked down at the 5-star centre. Went and met, obviously, with Pat Kilhan and Anya Gibney last June. Went through the program, talked about it, but also talked about how we were going to run it in Rockland. And obviously, it's a lot different than over here. So we had to tailor to ourselves and tailor to the school because there wasn't a GAA background. And again, because the school had a good baseline of physical literacy, it was a lot easier because straight away, when I started in February, I was able to do sport-specific GAA, ladies football and Gaelic football skills with them. I didn't have to do agility balance coordination, per se. I was still doing it, but didn't say, listen, we're doing agility, we're doing balance, we're doing coordination. Didn't have to do that. I would do it through the games, through the skills and stuff as well. So we could literally push the GAA centre straight away. And why we went with Lincoln was because the school knew me. Now, I had to sell the 5-star centre to them then. So the two people on the left of your picture, Kathleen Ann Cool is the principal on the left. Cool by name, cool by nature. She's very cool, calm and collected, obviously. But only for her and Diana Galuli, who's the PE teacher in the elementary school. So the 5-star centre with us, we went with 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades. Okay, so you're talking 2nd, 3rd, and 4th class here. All right, and that's the area that we worked at. What I'm going to do, hopefully when I go back, is a little bit more on kindergarten and 1st grade. So junior and senior infants, P1, P2 in the north. All right, but the reason why obviously we went for the older age group was because they had the physical literacy skills all there already. So we literally pushed the program straight away. And only for Pat, Anya, and obviously the GAA staff here, it wouldn't have happened because they had the vision and they allowed us to tailor to ourselves, which made a massive difference. So then we go and do the program. So Lincoln Elementary School, they call themselves the Lincoln Lions. So they kind of have a brand. So it goes back to what Conor was saying earlier on. We have a brand ourselves, and that's what we wanted to build. And this school system allows us to build that brand. Okay, and it's extremely important. But the schools over there have their own brand too. So you'll see there obviously later on, it's Lincoln Lions everywhere, but it's only a lion, and that's it. Right? They do a Pledge of Allegiance at the start, but then they have their own little Pledge of Allegiance as well. So it's about being a good lion, being a good person, okay? The top right hand is through the social element. So that is a little bit of the Go games, but we did it through handball. So we couldn't do all of the 5-star initiatives the way it's done here. So we didn't have a go. Obviously, we did have a ball. We done all the other programs, but the Come On and Strike was a little bit different. Because in America, they're a little bit wary of having hurls inside, even though they're plastic. So we had to do it a different way. So we done it through handball. And that there is a little handball match. So little fella on the right, on the left, he's the referee. So they're only allowed to play up to 2 games, and you'll see down below, that's how the game was running. So the 2 girls are playing each other. One is winning 1-0, and the other hand, he has his hand like that. All right? So if it went to 1 each, then they had to do rock, paper, scissors to see who won the point, to see who stayed on. So maximum, they're going to be on for about a minute. All right? And it's happened the same. This here is a picture from our Parents' Day that we had. So the school had an American Education Week, and what they did was, it was basically all about the 5-star center. The principal, Mrs. Cool, talked about the kindergarten and 1st grade in the 5-star center. Right? And I didn't realize she was doing that. She was telling me she was doing that, but all the parents were well aware of it. So every single parent from kindergarten to 4th grade is now aware of the 5-star center. Right? And with us, down the bottom, obviously we have different equipment. All the schools have exceptional equipment. All I do is I bring in my water bottle, I bring in my sticker book, and I have my plan. All the other equipment is from the school. But they have that because they have the physical education teachers in the elementary schools. The kids go to the physical education. It's not another teacher, a music teacher or a geography teacher who has a little bit of more limited aspect of PE, trying to take on PE, and that's very difficult for them to do. Okay, so they don't have to do that. But us coming in was really good for her. She enjoyed it. She was fully engaged in it. And you will see in the bottom, where is it? And one of the other pictures you'll see later on. She's actually taken part in the games too. So very athletic, very engaged, and the school absolutely loved it. But again, the only reason why it worked was because of the support that we got from here that we could tailor to ourselves. And as I said, having that physical literacy element made a massive difference. So what I will say to you, the 5-star Centre is a great program to be used in your clubs and in your schools. However, it's very important then that you have that school club link. Right? So making sure that whatever coaches are involved in your schools, that you're getting that linked into the club. And that's the good thing about this program. And that was the massive advantage it was for us. Not only for the children playing, but also for the coaches playing, or for the coaches taking part, and future administrators as well. Guys, good my August. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow.